Hello everyone, welcome back. This is episode 47 of my podcast, Brain Dribble, where this is now the 5th time that I've tried to do the intro, as Tropical Storm Elsa is raging on outside. It is currently proving my theory false, that it never really rains in New Jersey, because I used to have a job where it didn't matter if it rained, I still had to work outside. And you could imagine what life did to me when I had that job. It would rain exclusively when I worked. But now I have a job where if it rains, I get to go home. And you would imagine, if you could guess correctly, every time it's supposed to rain, it holds up. It holds up for an hour at a time. So we're just constantly like, will we be able to go home or not? And it just holds off every hour until we're done with the day for a fucking week, bro. Last week was so stressful. It was so hot. It was so humid. I just wanted the sky to take its shit, but it was holding off. The sky was just like grabbing on, holding on for dear life, and you know what all that humidity was? It was this. The sky is taking its shit now. I lost power for about 10 seconds. So it's raining, right? It's raining, you get it. But like, what I'm trying to say is that even when it does rain in New Jersey, it doesn't rain. If you get it, you get it. Okay? Even right now, when it's a storm, it's raining for like 20 minutes at a time. Yeah, there's thunder, but it'll pass. God damn. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Point is, it's raining right now. That's all. That's all it is. That's all it really is. So what do I have on the docket for today? I'm not feeling very... there it goes. There goes the power. And there goes the thunder. Thunder, hear the thunder. So now we are recording. Oh, and we're back. Just like that. This is crazy, man. So, to start off today, I would like to talk to you about words. Words mean things, usually. There is this healthy fruit juice place near me that, one of those healthy food stores. And they put their sticker on their smoothies that says "Quench your health." And on the surface, it doesn't really, it doesn't really make that much sense. But you don't overthink it. Well, I do. I do overthink it because I was like, well, okay. You quench your thirst, right? You put out your thirst. You squash it. You squash your thirst, right? And that's what that is. You quench it. You quench your thirst. So if we take that and we apply it to health, doesn't that kind of imply that you're stomping out your health? Hear me out, bro. Like, I know there's another definition for the word quench, but sounds to me like quench your health. I don't want to fucking just put it out. Get rid of your health. Have health like you have thirst, and you quench it. Now you no longer have health. You see what I'm saying? Well, I took this a step further and I called the fucking place, and I said, because I thought it would be funny to overanalyze their slogan, and each time I got hung up on, which is tragic because there will be people out there who will be deterred from trying this place because they think that their health will be quenched. Now, I know when you go on Google and you search the definition of quench, it can be to be satisfied by drinking. But I like my version. It's just like, I live in my head. Everything is fake. Everything is the way that I want it to be. If you live in a time where truth has never meant less, I choose to believe what is most fun. Like, if you name your thing Quench Your Health, you're fucking getting rid of people's health left and right. You know, I choose to believe that there are aliens here now. You know, I choose to believe that life is not real. Life is a dream. It's whatever you make of it. In a world where the truth has never meant less, I choose to believe what is most fun. Like, do you really need to tie your shoes, or can you just tuck them bitches in? Do you have to shower every day, or could you just kind of skip a day or two? Do you have to eat? I don't think so. I choose to believe that gyro, 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 whatever. I choose to say gyro. But in a world where truth means nothing, I might just start calling it gyro. Dreams of sushi. Can I get a gyro, please? A what? In a world where truth means nothing, I choose to pronounce things wrong. Because you know why? There's nothing I can't stand more than a double negative. There's a negative. I can't stand anything less. More. I can't. There's nothing I can't. Nothing that you can't. There's nothing that I hate more than when someone is pedantic about the way that someone pronounces other languages. Because no one fucking corrects them when they're speaking English and they have an accent. You're like, oh, you're not supposed to say it like that? No one corrects anyone for English, but if I say a quesadilla, everyone goes, actually, it's quesadilla, you know? You gotta, like, I'm not gonna just have a Mexican voice. I'm not gonna just have a Spanish accent. You won't catch me out there saying, porque están, you know? I'm gonna sound white when I speak. I'm gonna sound like English was my first language. So when I'm caught out there saying a taco, when I ask for a burrito, when I I don't want to hear shit, because I'm living my truth. Okay. When I pull up to the taco place and ask for 3 fish tacos, I don't want to hear it. If I ask for some carne asada, you better give it to me. In a world where truth means nothing, I believe what is most fun. I'm gonna ask you to make me a plate of nachos. Can I get some nachos? Can I get some nachos? Some nachos? The closer that you can get nachos to sound like Frank Sinatra, the more you win. In my world. In my world where truth doesn't matter, because no one's truth matters, I choose to believe that it's pronounced burrito. Can I get some arroz con polo? Can I get an arroz con polo t-shirt? Ralph Lauren polo tee. Wow, this is what I love. I love playing with words in such a way where you can if you can turn a word into something else, that's good. I like that. Oh, I like that. That is a good one. If you can, like, word association, if you can just like bring something somewhere else. I somehow tried to turn nachos into Frank Sinatra. Can I get some nachos? Can I get some Frank Sinatras? Some Frank Sinatras. If I ever open a restaurant, I'm gonna have an item on the menu called Frank Sinatras. That is so funny. Oh, I'm a fucking genius, dude. This is what happens. This is what happens when you sit me down on a couch and have me speak. You get Frank Sinachos. That's got to be the name of the episode, Frank Sinachos. And you have to pronounce it like that. You got to be like, I would like one order of the Frank Sinachos, please. Frank Sinachos. Frank Sinachos. Some nachos. Can I get some nachos? In this world, it's like, I'm just gonna say the sentence and I'll explain it afterwards. In this life, it's either you learn alchemy or you die. If you have a bad experience and you let that experience fucking ruin you, and you just blame everything on that experience, and in my whole life fell apart, then you will never make it out. If you go through life like, oh man, I can't move on because of that one thing that happened to me, you won't. If you don't think you will, you won't. If you don't think you will, you won't. Like, really take that in. Like, put out the energy that you want to see. Because if you think that you're worth, I'm talking to me right now. If you don't think you're worth it, you won't be. So what I'm saying is, fake it till you make it. Because that is the only solution. That's the only solution I can think of. Fake like you work hard or whatever, or something. Do. Yeah, it's either learn alchemy. It's either you learn alchemy or you die. Because if you have something bad that in your life that you trace everything back to, everything fucked up because of this. Oh, my life isn't where I want it to be because of this. Life is a fucking, it's like, what's a game? Okay. Life is like Guitar Hero, throwing you some notes. You might miss a few. You might not get all the notes, but don't give up. You don't like, if you're like playing on expert, if you're on expert and you're trying to get through Metallica 1 and you always fucking lose at the end, you just keep trying until you get it right. It wasn't the game's fault. Don't hate the player, don't hate the game, hate the player. Don't hate the game, hate the player, okay? Because that's how life works. Because we're all playing the game of life. So if someone's putting out bad energy, it's not your responsibility to like be around them, you know? Don't hate the game, hate the player. Don't be around people that bum you the fuck out. That's something that's going on in my life. I'm just trying to avoid people who stunt my growth, because people will try to tear you down and they'll get jealous that you're doing well. And then the further that you distance yourself from those people, the more surprising it'll be to you to see how you used to be. Because you'll go and talk to them, and all of a sudden you feel like sucked back in, like you're just being fucking sucked back into the depressing way of life. Like, you don't have any obligation to be around people that fucking bum you the fuck out. I know I'm saying the same thing and not even saying it in a different way, but it's true. If you notice your life improve from something, and then you like dabble in whatever it was that was fucking you up, and you're like, oh yeah, that was fucking me up, then use that knowledge to be like, oh, well, I don't have to do that anymore. Life is whatever you make it, baby. And in this world, I believe a few things, okay? We're all gonna die. So it doesn't matter what you joke about because we're all gonna die. Any of the moral superiority of like, oh, you're not allowed to joke about that. That's not your problem. That's not your problem. Because if you thought it was funny and you said it and it made someone laugh, that's all it takes. That's all it takes is at least one person enjoyed it. And even if that one person is you, fuck it, you know? Just do what makes you happy. People will try to stop you. People will be like, you can't. You're not. Why? Why am I not allowed? Nothing bad's happened so far. I'm living my life the way I want, and everything is dandy. In fact, I like my life a little bit more when I run it. I like my life to be the way that I want it to be. If I want to fucking eat bacon, egg, and cheese, I'm not gonna consult someone. I'll fucking do it. I'll put my own money. I put my money where my mouth is. I will eat that shit. I spend so much money on food, dude. Oh my God, it's crazy. The amount of money that I spend on food is, I did the math. If I saved my money ever since I started working, which like who the fuck can do that? You know, life has expenses, but you do some depressing math sometimes and you're like, oh, I could have made at least I could have had at least $60,000 right now if I saved it. But you don't save it. You spend it on fucking chicken nuggets. You spend it on fucking chicken tenders. When you're like, I'm gonna try and spend less. Oh, did you? Did you? No, you didn't. You spent more, bitch. I spent $113 yesterday. And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do some meal prep or whatever. I'm gonna order some prepared meals because that can't be expensive at all. We'll see how it goes. They're supposed to get here on Sunday, and maybe I'll find a way to spend a little bit less money. Point is, I don't know. I'm just rambling. But the point is, what was I talking about? Yeah, man. Oh, so yeah, there's some people that I'm just phasing out of my life because every time I try to hang out with them, it just kind of goes south. I don't know. I don't like the feeling. Let me get back to my beliefs, okay? In this world, I believe a few things. One of them is you can joke about anything because we're all gonna die. So no matter all the bad things you said, I'm not saying do bad things. I'm just saying it doesn't matter if you say bad things. And it sucks you back in the sense that you have to do what I'm doing right now, which is rationalize the way you've always been. People don't like it when someone thinks differently. And so they'll try to be like, hey, you can't say that. And I'm like, bitch, I already did. What are you talking about? Nothing happened to me and I already said it. And I don't know if it's people being sensitive or what, but it's like a form of gaslighting. Like, you're not a good person if you say that. But there's a difference between saying and doing. And the things that I do make me a good person. The things that I say don't. If that is your qualifications for what a good person is like what you would say. I mean, obviously there's things I don't say because I'm not mean, but I do. I make very meta jokes in the sense that if I start hanging out with someone and let's just say, for instance, I hang out with someone who is gay. I'm going to make gay jokes just because I gotta play with that dynamic, you know? It's like, ooh, you trying to fuck a man or something? I don't know. That's a bad example, but you get what I'm saying. It's got nothing to do with me wanting or not wanting to be around the person. It's just like, oh, society has this little thing with gay people that they don't like it, so I'm gonna pretend. I'll like pretend, or you know. And I don't know. Either learn alchemy or die, is really what it is. Either learn alchemy or die. Take your bad experiences and instead of dwelling on them, accept them and move forward. Because if you don't, and anyone can tell you this, I'm not a fucking psychologist, but I had to do, I gotta move through some shit on my own. I had some shit, okay? We don't need to talk about it, but it's that time of the year. It's a pretty emotional time of year for me. And when all these feelings start to boil up again, because I know how easy it is to put yourself back in that place. I get it. But you need to take those emotions and those strong feelings and just push them down. Push them the fuck down with whatever substance you can. Get a hold of anything. Meth, heroin, alcohol, weed, nicotine, caffeine, sugar. Just distract yourself with whatever you can find in the nearest vicinity. Video games, social media, Tinder. Just fuck. Maybe that's your new thing. You just fuck now. Take your bad life experiences and mold them into habits that will destroy your life. Start an addiction. Go to the store and buy something new. Start smoking. You know? And the thing is, you get that I'm joking. Because this is how I speak. I'm gonna say the opposite of how I feel. Because I don't know how to show emotions. I'm gonna say the worst shit. I'm very brutal when it comes to this shit. Like life is brutal, and it's fucking bullshit that we convince ourselves that it isn't. Life is fucking brutal. I mean, you hear that? There's fucking electricity coming out of the sky. Shit's chaos. You can't get comfort is fake. We're not designed to be comfortable. And that's not where anyone grows. So when you're constantly in a state of just taking in things just to push it down, which obviously was a joke, you're not focusing on the root, you know? The longer that you like push it down and you don't ever digest those emotions, and it turns into shit in your lower intestine, you are small upper west side intestine. I don't fucking know. Point is, if you dwell on shit, if you're traumatized, I don't know why I split it up that way. If you have trauma, I mean, fuck, man. Stop. Choose not to. Choose to distract yourself with work, which is what this is. You know, it's hard, man. It is hard. My cock is so hard. But yeah, people will try to put these weights on your shoulders and just try to bring you down and gaslight you into making you think that you're a bad person because of, like, you don't know my entire life. You don't know everything that's happened to me. You don't know, I don't know why I'm like this either. But all I can say is that if you get it, you get it. If you hang out with me long enough, you understand that it all comes out of love, even though it's harsh. I want to make you aware of the harshness. If somebody has something that they're insecure about. This is what I was saying with the gay thing. If someone has something that they're insecure about, I don't know what it is inside me that is just going to bring it up and joke about it, because it doesn't matter. Like, if someone trips up in conversation, you know that thing that we all do where we fuck up a word and then we think about that word later. We think about that word later. We're like, I fucked up one time in that sentence. And I see someone, like, in their head, if I see somebody, like, get tripped up because they tripped up, I'll look at them and be like, hey man, just want you to know that everyone's gonna be thinking about that for the rest of the night. You look so stupid right now. Like, I take it to 100 to show them that it doesn't fucking matter. Like, oh my god, you fucked up that one word and now we hate you. Everything that has led up to this point, all the cool and funny things that you said, it's all changed now, bitch. I don't like you anymore because you said the instead of the, you know? It's like the. Yo, speak right is what it is. I'll do that. I will make it bigger than it has to be to show you that it's not big. Like, you thought it was big, but it's kind of small. Talking about penises. You get what I'm saying? That's how I'll illustrate it to you. That's how I like that. If someone did that, I'd be like, yo, today, Junior, you know, because if I did that, it's treat people how you want to be treated in the harshest way possible. Like, I want you to fucking tear me apart. I want you to roast me so hard that, like, when I go home tonight, you're not sure if I'm gonna kill myself. I know. I want you to be so open with me. I want you to be able to say so many things to me that you don't even know, like, if it's okay. I would much rather people be so open that they accidentally say something, like, really harsh, than for people to be so afraid of saying something harsh and never saying anything real and being phony because of it. That's my opinion. I don't believe in dangerous thoughts. I believe that you can put horrible sometimes the joke is that it's horrible, you know? And that doesn't mean all shock humor is good. There are bad jokes. There are jokes that do not land, but as Patrice O'Neal said it best, no matter the good or bad joke, if it lands, if it doesn't, it all comes from the same place. I am trying to make you laugh. So if I say anything and you go, "Oh, maybe you're the asshole." I don't care. I don't give a shit. And in fact, in this world where truth means nothing, my truth is, if you're offended by my joke, fuck off. You're not my target audience, obviously. Enough of this, like, this is the like thing of cancel culture. It's like, you don't have to watch. That's all it is. That's all it is. And that's I believe in like meritocracy, you know? If people want to listen, they're gonna listen. And anything that, like, the government does to try to shut shit down, like every time something gets involved with Alex Jones and he gets pulled off of sites, it just makes him bigger. It just, whenever he appears, it's huge. It's gonna be huge whenever he appears. See that? But you get what I'm saying? People are dumb, and and then there are very smart people manipulating the dumb people into believing shit that makes no sense. I'm not saying any of this. I'm done with literally done with politics. It is the moment that I got politics out of my life, and it was a hard process. It was not easy to do, to just not give a shit. But I think what really made me lay back was the pandemic's kind of over. Trump's no longer president. They're not fucking talking about him every fucking day. And you can just kind of sit back and be like, oh wow, he's a war criminal too. Oh wait, our country is run so none of it matters. In fact, I bet you the Republicans and the Democrats work together to try and make the divide bigger and all that shit. Not saying that it's true, not saying that it isn't, but all I'm saying is that if you spend your time on it, you'll wanna die. You'll wanna die if you spend your time on it. That's how much it sucks. The more that you learn about politics, the more you don't support anyone, the more you are what? Politics is the business of controlling the people. They stage events for excuses to make new laws. If you hate billionaires, and you know that billionaires lobby to get laws made, why do you want to give the government more power? You're giving billionaires more power, dummy. Yeah, so that's why politics is fucking stupid, and you shouldn't even the more time you spend on it, the more time you will have wasted. So get out while the water's calm ish. Get out now. Sell your mental stock of politics. Get off Twitter. Stop reading it. Every time I see some bullshit go on Twitter, I just scroll past. And because I don't think the average person is supposed to know what's going on everywhere in the world all of the time. It's called, as George Carlin said, it's the American dream because you have to be asleep to believe it. If you just shut your eyes and live a local life, you won't be thinking about the fucking children that make our phones. Yeah, shit's depressing. But you know what it is? You know what? There's a perspective that you can have. You can have the perspective that I'm just going to put them on my blast. These people are anonymous. The people that I'm referring to, they're anonymous. I'm just going to put them on blast, okay? I do not support this is a direct quote. I will quote them verbatim, okay? It's not my fault. I was born into a capitalist hellscape. There comes a point where you can't blame capitalism for all your problems. Because you are sitting there doing nothing, victimizing yourself, being real comfortable in the victimhood, knowing that one day they'll just give it to me. One day they'll just they'll give it to you. Oh, they'll give it to you, all right. One day they're just gonna give me what I deserve. Oh, they're gonna give it to you. They're gonna fucking give it to you, dude. Oh, these billionaires, eventually laws will be passed that redistribute the wealth, and no, they're gonna fucking, you know who pays? We do. You know what happens every time the economy collapses and fucking shit's more expensive, but our wages don't go up? You know who benefits off that? The people at the top. And the people at the top include the government. Dummy. So shut up. You can, it's a choice. It's a choice. You choose to do nothing in the face of adversity. Yeah. We are all, currently, I'm in debt. I don't know about you. If you own a home, you're probably in debt. Do you own a home? You couldn't afford that home, probably. So you're in debt. Yeah, you're a slave to money, then you die. That's the bittersweet symphony. You're gonna die, and so fucking don't dwell on this shit. So choose your battles, man. You could sit there and be like, it's not my fault. And yeah, you didn't choose to be born here, but would you rather have been born in fucking Iraq or Iran? Like, are you dumb in the head? Count your fucking blessings, dude, because you're here and not there. You could have been born in Yemen, but you weren't. You're here, so shut up. They're systemically killing people. There is a genocide happening overseas. But oh, my coffee's really expensive. I can't afford my coffee. I don't want to work. Billionaires should just pay me. They're not gonna pay you. Every time they pay you, the value of the dollar goes down. Fucking dick. And I get the irony that I'm telling you not to fucking focus on it, and that I'm, in doing so, I am focusing on it. But I'm trying to show to you why this shit is meaningless. And every time you have a conversation with someone, you have the same fucking conversation, and it sucks you right back in. So now I'm talking about it again. And you see why this shit is so fucking toxic? Do you see why this shit is so fucking toxic? Because it was out of my head. It was out of my head. And now I've been going for 45 minutes about it. Learn alchemy or die. That's what it is. Yep. We were born with shit conditions. Could be shittier, could be better, but, you know, make the best of it. Because you're gonna die. Because you're gonna die. And if you die a victim, then you never lived. You were never alive. If you lived your entire life like, none of this is my fault, there's nothing I can do, I would just, come on, I guess I'll just fucking drink caramel macchiatos and eat pizza till I die. If you do that, then that's your life. You know what? Fine. But guess what? You're a victim then. And you know how to not be a victim? Fucking do anything that isn't that. Because the longer that you sit there and you tell yourself that, life, I used to say, life happens to you. That is not to there are variables in life that you have no control over, but you have control over the reaction. Something bad happens to you. I know Jocko Willink was talking about this. He said, just say good. Good. Yep. Good. Put a fucking tough face on for once in your life. Be like, yep, that fucking happened to me. These people, again, anonymous, I'm sorry, but I'm going to put you on blast because I despise your way of thinking. And I don't think, and again, psychology, maybe it isn't your fault. Maybe you are depressed and it's just a cycle. You know, I was stuck in that cycle. I get it. But I'm telling you the way out is to not think like this. And I don't know how to reverse engineer it, but just get yourself off of the way to think about this. Who am I talking to? Who is this for? Who is this for? Is this for you or is it for me? Oh, that's where we get deep. Learn alchemy or die. Because if you spend your whole life thinking you're a victim, you'll die a victim. I want to die having lived. This is another note that I wrote that is slightly related. It is a cruel trick of the mind to envision what isn't. What do I mean by that? You could sit there. This is basically what I was talking about. I get it. This is this is an emotional time of year for me. I will not go into why, because if you know, you know. But it is shockingly easy to get sucked back into that way of thinking. The woe is me, it's not my fault. Yeah, life happens to you, but that is not to say in the same sentence that there's nothing you can do about it. Yeah, life will continue to happen to you. You just gotta fucking roll with the punches and just take it. Just take it. Take it, or they'll give it to you. I'm not talking about paychecks. I'm not talking about unemployment. I'm not talking about stimulus packages when I say they're gonna give it to you. So either take it up. There's two options in life. You either take it, what life throws at you, you take it up the ass, fucking whatever. You know, sometimes life will give it to you up the ass. You take what life gives you up the ass, or they'll give it to you. You know? So, and as far as I'm concerned, the longer that you're a victim, the easier it is for them to not only give it to you, but in the same breath, take it from you. Oh, we're abstract now. Oh, I'm talking about sodomy. That's what it is. Either you take it or they'll give it to you. How many times can I just say that? In this podcast, huh? How many times can I just say that over and over until the end of time? It is a cycle. It's a cycle. It's a circle. Everything's a there's a lot of philosophy involved in the way that I think. Everything is everything. We're all gonna die. Everything is a circle. You go so far one way that you just kind of end up on the little bit, like the other side a little bit. I think humans are destined to repeat the same cycles over and over. Humans are just one big overcorrection. We're just it should be this way. Oh fuck, that didn't work. We gotta go all the way instead of halfway, you know? And the hope is that eventually, like, you can do this. I felt it happen in my brain personally. I don't know if it could happen in a society. There's no such thing as a utopia, because if you need to get everyone on board, you have to brainwash people. So utopia doesn't exist. But you can, on a small scale, you can see the knobs turn in your head of the person that you'll become, the person that you know you've been all your life, and these powers sort of take control. You know, last year on Twitter was the fucking worst. Twitter made me anxious, it made me cry, it made me think the world was ending. And I no longer feel like the world is ending because I'm off Twitter. Because if Twitter's your world, you'll think the world is ending. Always. It was a long time to get there, and I felt my because politics was very important in the whole thing. And I was like, whoa, I don't want to be on the wrong side of history. And then I was like, wait a minute, they just used that shit to get you on board with shit that I don't know if it's things. So I get way. And then we kind of level out. It's like, well, what do I believe in? I believe that people should be able to do and say whatever they want within reason. You know, there's laws. And if you break those laws, yeah, you can go to jail. Does that mean I believe that all laws are good? No. Does that mean that I believe that everyone in jail deserves to be in? No. But in general terms, I'm fucking libertarian, I guess. I just be able to do, no one person's opinion should get in the way of another person's opinion. You know, we need to have debate. And that's where the problems arise. But you already know this. I just think humans are one. That's a thought. Humans are just one big overcorrection. And we'll keep on doing it until the end of time. But the healthiest thing for you, in my opinion, the healthiest thing, I can only give what I did. The healthiest thing that I was able to find, I was looking for the fucking needle in the haystack. I was like, where is anything good? Or diamond in the rough? Needle in the haystack, I wouldn't really say that's good. I don't think, you in a haystack, there's a story. I read that there was a story of someone who escaped death so many times. One of the ways that he almost died was in a plane crash. He was the only person that survived, and there is currently a fucking deafening screech in my ear right now. Ow. Maybe I have tinnitus. What the fuck, bro? Out of nowhere, too. For no reason. Why did you do this? Hey, ear. Hey, ear. Why? Why did you do this to me? Now, try to look at your ear. You can't. There was this dude who escaped death like so many times, and one of the ways that he died, one of the ways that he almost died was falling out of a plane that crashed, and he landed in a goddamn haystack. And what I'm saying is, if there was a needle in the haystack, maybe you got stabbed and would have bled out and he would have died. So you don't want a needle in the haystack, you want a diamond in the rough. But I want to talk about this other guy a little bit more. This dude wasn't wearing a seatbelt. His car, he hit something and got ejected from his car. His car went on to fall off a fucking cliff. So him not wearing a seatbelt saved his life. I mean, this guy is like the epitome of like, not to need to listen to some people. Some people you might not need to listen to. All his life, he's been like, he's hearing people say, you should put your seatbelt on. You should put it on. And he never does. Until the one time where he's with someone who's got their seatbelt on, and he gets thrown out of the vehicle, and the person falls to their death. It's like, it's important to think. It's important to think for yourself. All these people, like, actually, I understand. If I go flying and my car goes off a cliff, you would have died. So think for yourself, Here's a perfect example. I'm not getting the vaccine. Oh my god, he's not getting the vaccine. Oh my god, we need to sterilize him. People are gonna come to his house and tell him to get vaccinated. It's a personal choice. If you believe in personal autonomy. Now with colleges, I know it's a little different because you always needed the meningitis shot, which by the way, got me the sickest I've ever been. Anyway, I get it, you need shots. I'm not an anti-vaxxer. Hold the phone. You're not an anti-vaxxer? No. But for me, personally, who got COVID and kicked it, didn't even realize I had it, aside from the smelling and tasting. Yeah, if there are people who might die, there's somebody in my town who might die because he needs a heart transplant. I don't know how it went. I think it happened recently. Anyway, yeah, if that's an option, I would like to stay as far away from that as possible. Because I know how COVID affected me. I'm a healthy person. I'm not afraid of the Delta variant. Ugh. And I just choose not to. And it should make no difference. Because if you believe that our body, our choice, if you believe that women don't have to have babies if they get pregnant, which I agree with, I think it's their choice, you know, then let's be consistent. Let's just be consistent, you know? I don't want to get a shot, and that's my choice. If I had to go to college, if I had to go travel, if I had to go to a concert, yeah, then I get it, okay? If I had to get it, I would. But I don't really have to. So... And the thing is, and there's the whole thing, if you're vaccinated, then it's not a threat to you, so who do you give a fuck about? But we already know this. We're already caught up on this all shit. Point is, learn alchemy or die. You can imagine, oh yeah, that was all a rant on it's a cruel trick of the mind to envision what isn't. It's very easy to get sucked back into ways of thinking and circles that you used to live your life on a loop of these thoughts, and it was never worse than last year on Twitter, and it controls your life. It takes over. You no longer are living or breathing or thinking your own thoughts. You're living this conformed life of like, you gotta think this way, you gotta be this way, you gotta say this, you gotta say that. You're not allowed to think that because that's a dangerous thought. And I don't fuck with that at all. And it goes completely hand in hand with like traumatic events, because if you're sitting there thinking like, what if here's what this is a really comforting thought that has been there for me, that sometimes I'll find little nuggets of gold back in my brain, okay? So hopefully this helps someone. Right now, you're looking back at a different time where you're like, oh, it was so much better then. But weren't you doing that then too? Back then, you were thinking to a sooner time that it was better, which it wasn't. So, nostalgia is garbage. It's a liar. Don't listen to him. He'll fuck up your life. Keep looking forward. Move forward. Keep looking ahead. Don't let anything stop you. Nothing can get in your way. You're a proud bitch. No one can stop you. There was a big disconnect, and I could feel it. I could feel it as I was growing up. The narrative that you could be whatever you wanted never mentioned sacrifice, never mentioned work and work ethic. It never mentions any of this stuff. So we sold an entire my generation. They sold us lies. And then half of us, when we found out that those were lies, couldn't handle it. And yeah, so the sooner that you can realize that you can't be anything. And you know that. You can't be anything. It's too late for some things. It's too late for some things. So, what route are you gonna choose? What life are you gonna live? Are you gonna live a life of just constant negativity? Again, all of this is really just me repeating a mantra to myself. My mantra is think less, do more. That's really what it's been all my life, and I feel like for the first time in my life, I'm actually acting upon it. Because yeah, I'm thinking out loud. I'm making something out of it. I'm having my thoughts that I would usually have. But instead, maybe they'll benefit someone. Maybe it'll become something. Maybe one day more than 2 people will listen to this. Maybe one day I'll get my first subscriber on YouTube for the podcast. Yeah, but I mean, you get it. I started recording today and I was like, I wasn't really feeling funny. So I'm sorry that episode isn't really funny, but sometimes you just gotta rant. Sometimes you just gotta talk about things and like the way that people make you feel. It's important not to dismiss those thoughts, because if you let the gaslighting win, if you let the like, you know your tribe. We're tribal people. I've always had a small circle of friends. Not many people I'm very close to. I haven't really. That's something that's bothering me. I haven't really opened up to people in a while. So that's something I want to work on. But you know your tribe. And you know when you're around people that you're like, I just don't belong here. And that's fine. Because you might not. You might not belong. You know, there's no reason for me to talk to people who I can't be my entire self around. Because they don't appreciate me for who I am. And it's not really even that emotional. It's not really even that important. They weren't important people in my life. I just take note of how I feel when I'm around certain people, and if there's just if I come away from it feeling worse, I don't give a fuck who you are. I'll just kind of, I don't know. I'll just pump the brakes a little. I don't really have to talk to you. And that's not a bad thing. I think that's a very healthy thing. I've never needed a break from a friend up until like a year or 2 ago. I've never needed a break from someone, but I finally understood what it was like to just feel. I hope I'm self-aware enough that that's not how I make people feel. I hope I don't make people's days worse. Because I'm very bold with the things that I joke about. I'm very deep into this hole of nothing matters, so that I can joke about anything. You know? I have to actually stop myself sometimes from saying something like way too real. But like the realness and the rawness of it is the joke. Like it's because at some point it becomes using people to just shit out your life onto their ears. I've done that to a lot of people. I've kind of used people, and I would always project the shit. I would always notice it when other people did it, but I definitely used people as an emotional punching bag. That was the phrasing that I would use, because I don't know. I'm not that good at listening. I'm not that good at empathy, but I'm also not that good at keeping my life story secret. I feel like oftentimes the first thing that I do when I meet someone is I just give them the rundown, which I've started to stop doing because I knew that was toxic before I even stopped doing it. I was like, yeah, trauma bonding isn't really where it's at. I want to meet someone that I actually like get along with and care about. This is where life is very confusing for me right now. I don't know. I overthink into... My whole life has been behind a computer screen. It's probably why I feel like I'm getting a lazy eye sometimes. It kind of just, sometimes this eye just kind of like, yep. I don't know if that's related to genetics or stress or screens or what, but I don't know what the lazy eye has to do with it. I always said if I had a lazy eye, I'd probably like, there's a very low threshold for things that I'm willing to put up with in my head as I'm going through it. I'm like, if I ever got eczema, if I ever got like a skin tag, if I ever got like, I don't know, if my hair ever started falling out, if I started losing my hair, if I get a lazy eye, I'll just shoot myself. Which, whatever, man. That's how extreme it gets. And sometimes, you know, sometimes there's shock value things that you just can't say. And I'm definitely getting better with that. But yeah, man. Politics is toxic as fuck, and it'll make you lose who you are, because people will tell you what you're supposed to be, and if you don't fit that, you might start living a fake life. And on that note, I want to thank you guys so much for listening. If you enjoyed this podcast, which if you enjoyed and you think someone else might enjoy, please send it to them, because that's love. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.